Hi from Cologne, Germany. I'm Dustin Browder, the game director on Heroes of the Storm, and I'm incredibly excited to be here at GamesCom at 2015. We've got a great live stream for you tonight. We've got 3 heroes to talk about. We've got Karazim, we've got Artanis, we've got Rexar, we've got a bunch of exciting new features coming to the game, as well as a new hero, so stay tuned.
And then we got 2 lovely guys here in our studio. The guy you just saw, Dustin Browder, as well as Kale Milker, which we had last year already, this time joined by Dustin Browder. Guys, how are you feeling?
Very good, very good. It's amazing to be here at Gamescom.
Yeah, this show is fantastic. It was a blast last year. I'm so happy to be back. Great stuff here.
That's right. So how you guys have enjoyed Gamescom so far? There's been a lot of stuff announced. It's been a whirlwind. How are you guys keeping up with the entire convention so far?
Well, it's been absolutely incredible. We've met so many gamers. I've had a little bit of time to be down here on the show floor, see gamers playing Heroes of the Storm, watching them battle out against one another, you know, get some feedback from these guys. It's been an absolutely amazing experience. There's so many players here that are excited about the work we're doing. It's just very inspiring as a game developer.
That's right. The passion shown by not only just the international fans, but specifically the German fans here have been very rowdy about all your games. It must be a really awesome experience here, KO.
It's amazing. I mean, we make these games and we put them out there and we hope that someone likes them and wants to play them, and you come to something like Gamescom and you're just overwhelmed by the support and the passion and love that people have for these games. So it's great to be a part of it all.
Yeah,
it must be really great for the fans too, because they can literally just walk around and meet the developers who made the games they love and play, right? So that's just an overall great experience. Now, last time we talked about the game, it was in the very early stages. Now, how has the process been ever since the launch?
Yeah, I think last year we were in our tech alpha, I think, still when we were here. We worked our way through beta, and we had so much support, so much feedback coming from all the people who played our game across tech alpha and beta. We finally launched the game in June, and it was so exciting to finally open it up to everybody. It's free to play, of course, so anyone can come in and play it. It was such an amazing journey, and the journey continues, because with this game we're not done, right? It's always evolving. We're always making new and better things, making improvements, and it's all really based on the feedback we get from everyone who's playing it.
That's right. And you also had recently the internal conflict and everything that comes out from that. How has that process been for you guys too, Dustin?
Well, it's been really cool to be able to add all of these Diablo heroes and Diablo battlegrounds into the Nexus. We had sort of a lack of Diablo heroes in terms of representation. We got the chance to finally get all of these Diablo characters, especially heroes like Leoric, the Butcher, all into the game. Just an absolute blast to be able to really focus on Diablo.
That's right. So let's go ahead and just start and talk about some of the details that people have revealed so far. We have Karazim here as one of our first new heroes. So can we go ahead and just hear more about it at all?
So Karazim is the monk that we've added to Heroes of the Storm. We had this real need to add a Diablo support character that wasn't a character you could really play before, so if you love Diablo and you love support, you really didn't have a chance to play him. Of course, if you wanted to double dip your quests by Diablo quests and support quests, you didn't have that chance either.
Right.
So it seems like it would be a really great addition to the game, and so we were looking for a Diablo sword, and we found Karazim. Now, Karazim's very special. He's got a lot of special abilities that make him very powerful. You can see his 7-sided strike here. You can spec him as a damage dealer using that heroic ability. Here it is again, where he's blasting away at a bunch of very damaged heroes, just wiping them out all at once. If you prefer to play him as a dedicated support, you can do so with Divine Palm. And if you manage to kill somebody, while the Divine Palm is on them, instead they get an immediate instant heal that gets them right back into the action. What's also exciting about Karazim is you can use our talent system, which is really a customized shop per character, to really decide how you want to build him. You can build him as a damaged character, you can build him as more of a support character, and you can sort of divide between the two. So he's really using our talent system in a whole new way. Since his abilities are such short-ranged abilities, you really got to position him really correctly. And so you'll see Karazim players trying to use their Q ability to dash to allies, dash to enemies, and really try to get exactly the right position on the battlefield. It's a very high skill cap character to really use effectively.
Yeah, that was one of my questions, like how difficult will Karazim be? And it looks very hard, at least for me, maybe not for the rest of the gamers who are very fluent with those kinds of characters.
I love that you pointed at me like she got the skills,
she's got it.
She's got. Yeah, obviously I would.
Yeah.
How does it fit in, like in terms of his support role, like if you compare it to the others?
Well, we're not sure 100% yet. We're going to put them up, on PTR here pretty soon, and we'll get a chance to test them with a lot of players. But, we believe that you can really spec him as a dedicated support using Divine Palm, and he's got a lot of abilities and talents that really allow him to support that core role. Again, if you want to spec him more for damage, that is definitely an option. We're trying to walk the line to allow you to really do both. We've never really done a hero that was so sort of open in this respect. We've obviously got hybrid supports like Tassadar and Tehran, and a lot of players I think legitimately feel they can't be solo supports. We believe that we've got a character here who can be a solo support, or if you choose, using the talent system, you can make him much more of a dedicated sort of self-healing assassin.
What kind of maps do you think Karazim would immediately fit in based off of initial testing and that you guys have seen on the early designs?
Well, any map that's got a lot of choke points is going to be a little bit to his advantage in the sense that he can probably avoid a lot of the incoming fire that may try to hit him. He's obviously looking for any kind of place where he can work well. I think team composition is going to be more important to him than Battleground.
Okay,
he's going to look for the type of tanks that want to get up there and get stuck in. At the same time, can maybe protect him when he dives in to heal them.
Yeah.
So maybe your Arthuses might be very strong with this guy, but I don't really know for sure. We're really going to have to test him with the community and find out.
Sounds good, sounds good. Now, we do have another hero that you announced on Wednesday. We had Rexxar from the old Warcraft series, one of the most beloved heroes in the entire Warcraft lore. And a lot of people will immediately compare it to the Beastmaster design of how you had. What similarities did you guys draw from back then and now?
Well, we were literally looking at Rexxar. He's obviously come with us quite a ways. He's also the hunter now in Hearthstone as well.
Oh, I know.
We really went back to Warcraft. Yeah. Warcraft 3 for his core kit. We've got a guy who's throwing axes, and he's working with Misha the bear. This is his pet that he can work with to effectively manage the battlefield. You don't control him like you would Lost Vikings. Misha is tied to Rexxar, and they work together as a team. So you can direct Misha by attacking enemies. He'll attack what you're attacking. You can call him home to you if you need to. You can charge with Misha past enemies, stunning them as Misha runs through, and then Misha will also body block for you if necessary. So it's really about working with Misha. It's more like a World of Warcraft hunter and his pet working together as a team, trying to overcome the opponent. We wanted to have a strong connection between Misha and Rexxar, so you're working as a unit on the battlefield. If Misha is killed, she will respawn automatically after a little bit, but Rexxar without Misha is a sad Rexxar. He's not very effective without Misha, and this is what makes him kind of a strange range tank character with Misha as a melee character. He's a very unusual character. It's a very unique style of play.
All right, well, I mean, I'm as a Warcraft 3 fan, I'm super excited about that. And I actually love the fact that you have to work so closely with Misha because, as you said, they belong together. It's Rexxar and Misha, not just Rexxar, not just Misha. That's not working.
We did have an early version where they controlled like Lost Vikings, but by accident or on purpose, the two characters ended up very separated. It just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
These two need to be together, working as a unit.
I'm sure the two of them are happy about that. So, yeah, thanks from them.
Yeah, that's right, that's right. I do know a lot of people who are both fans of Heroes and Hearts. Like, where's the Huffer? Where we want to see that companion. But I think Misha there is definitely good enough. I love where you guys are going with the design. And of course, we're not done there just yet. We also had a new map that was introduced. We had Shrines. We basically have a lot of videos available to check out the entire map. What was some of the inspiration there behind creating this map, Shrines, and where did you guys end up going with it?
So, the Eternal Conflict was all about bringing the world of Sanctuary, the Diablo universe, into Heroes of the Storm, and it was our first time that we really did that in terms of bringing it into a battleground. Prior to that, it was all Nexus battlegrounds, which were these fun new worlds that we kind of invented. But Infernal Shrines was really about getting more of that flavor of the Diablo universe in, and as you're seeing here, something really special about this battleground. It's a 3-lane battleground. It's all about laning, but the mechanic on this map, the objective is shrine spawn, that if you kill 30 skeletons at this shrine, if your team is the first one to kill these 30 skeletons, you're going to spawn one of these guys. These guys are called Punishers. These guys are badasses.
Are they punishing?
Yeah,
yes.
So previous to this, all of our boss monsters that you were able to kind of spawn on our battlegrounds, they were all about sieging. They're all about going after towers and towns and working their way to the core. The Punisher is all about heroes. He wants heroes. He is after them. And he'll go after them to the point that he actually leaps past gates. He'll go into the enemies' back towns. He'll chase them far across the map. He's just all over them. And it really changes up the way the battleground plays. It changes the way the enemy team has to deal with them. And it gives your team an opportunity to do other things while your Punisher is out there beating up on enemy heroes.
That sounds like a really interesting change of pace there as well. I really like that.
Different. I'm curious too, like, what do you guys see in this battlefield? Like, what some of the heroes or team compositions that you really see being able to flourish on it? Because we want to be able to talk a little bit more about strategy, right? That's the whole point of seeing this new map, introducing a new opportunity for team composition to really flourish.
Well, we've obviously seen, you know, any hero that has enough mobility to avoid or kite the Punisher. A character like Vala can be pretty decent on this map. Some of the characters that suffer maybe a little bit. I'm not sure 100% yet. We're going to test it with the community, but we believe that some of the characters that suffer a little bit more, heroes like Kale or Jaina, that can't really slow it down, that have no ability to really get out of the way. Obviously, you're going to want a really strong, self-sustaining main tank to absorb the damage from this character. When you're going for the shrines themselves, all of these shrines have affixes on them, and so you're going to want to get the right shrine at the right time, but the shrines themselves require a lot of ability to kill minions very, very quickly. So you're looking, again, Vala might be a strong choice in this position. She can use her multi-shot, and she's effective when the Punisher, should her team lose that engagement. You know, warriors with more area effect abilities that can simply walk up next to the shrine, take a bunch of damage from the enemy team, and again, be able to deal out damage to nearby opponents. Man, it might be effective on this battleground to allow you to both kill the skeletons and to absorb the incoming fire of your opponents.
That's perfect for me. Val's my highest level character,
There you go.
and it's basically my main character at this point. So thank you very much, Blizzard, for designing it just for me.
Buffs for you.
Just for you, yeah, just for you. Now, yeah, that's a lot of exciting changes. Now, really can't wait to play all of that. Now, here we, of course, on the show floor have people playing Heroes of the Storm, and we also had show matches going on the main stage, and they have been very interesting because Blizzard grabbed some famous YouTubers, be them, like some of them might have been like semi-pro at the game, but others really not that much. So it was very fun to watch, and we actually, you know, took a look at it and also talked to the players afterwards a little bit. Joined by the winning team of our Heroes of the Storm show match. First of all, of course, congratulations to the whole team. It was a close one, but it was a pleasure to watch. Now, of course, first question, how much practice time did you actually have? Did you get together to practice?
No, we just played for the first time, but everyone has already played the game and played a lot, so it was fun. Really good to play together, yeah.
All right. So it looked close from the audience perspective, but how did it feel for you guys? Did you feel like it was a really close match?
At the beginning, it was going really good, but in the middle, it was like, oh, I thought maybe we could lose, but at the end, I was like, okay, we're just going for it. Like, it's all or nothing. So I don't know. It was a good match. It was really like tight, so it was good.
What's your favorite aspect of it? What do you enjoy the most?
Actually, I love the World of Warcraft characters, especially Lily, actually. That's my favorite part of it because, you know, all of Blizzard universe is in the game, so actually that's my favorite part of it.
Well said. Well, once more, I don't want to keep you much longer, so thanks a lot for joining me. Congratulations. It was a pleasure watching you.
Congratulations, man. They did pretty well. I saw
really
some of the game. Yeah, and it was fantastic.
You know what the fun thing about this very match was on stage yesterday? That the German team, they are actually playing as a team very often together. So they have been, you know, they had some practice. Whereas the other team, which basically looked like out of a model catalog, like, let's face it, they were all like
there's some good-looking people.
Super handsome guys, super pretty girls, and they went up on stage, and I was standing in the audience listening, and everyone was like, well, that's going to be one-sided, or those chicks are going to lose, or that's not going to be an interesting game. They crushed the German team.
That's right.
They crushed him.
And so they were even better looking after they won.
Yeah, right.
I didn't even know how that was possible.
Win-win.
Weird. Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw the show match there. We had a lot of fun, and we also revealed some of the hero stuff too. But we also were promised, there's a little hinted on the Wednesday broadcast that there's got to be more, right? But wait, there's more. So, guys, now that you're here and we got you settled down and a little comfortable, what's coming next? What do you guys have for us?
Well, you know, we've got a bunch of stuff that we're working on in the studio all the time. And we have another hero that we'd like to show you guys here today.
All right.
We've got the medic from StarCraft 2 coming to Heroes of the Storm, or the original StarCraft as well from Brood War, coming to the game. And this is a you know, powerful support character that can single target healing. This is a character that can throw some grenades to disrupt the enemy, and she's got a shield that she can use to help out her allies as well. She's a very strong, dedicated, support character that it will add a lot of supports to the game. We've heard from a lot of our players they need more supports, especially with the double ban system we're using these days, and we think this will help round out our roster quite a little bit.
Now, I did hear you say the medic from StarCraft 2, but in StarCraft 2, there's the medevac, which is still a little bit different. So there seems to be a little bit more to the medic than we've seen.
We've incorporated the medevac into the design of the medic as well, and this is one of her heroic abilities. You can actually use the medevac to move around the battlefield if you want to choose this heroic. So you can see here we've got Vala and the medic have just managed to gather some coins on Blackheart's Bay. And this is a little demo. You can actually use it much more strategic, I'm showing you here, but you can summon the medevac, and the medic hops in, and there's a little bit of a countdown timer there. Vala can jump in as well, and when you're ready, you can launch yourself across the battlefield to a completely different location and land and then begin to engage in other activities. Now, that was a very short-range medevac move. You can go much further than that, but it's very important for the team to be very coordinated to use this ability. This is a very teamwork-oriented ability. You really want to coordinate with your allies before you even take this heroic, but if you do, and you know what you're doing with it, it can be absolutely devastating. You can, win a battle at a fort, maybe get a little bit of an advantage, fly immediately to a boss, jump to an objective. Your team can be all over the map in a very short amount of time. And again, teams that know what they're doing can make some incredible plays. You're giving up a heroic on what is probably your dedicated, support character. So if you don't know what you're doing, this can be a real mess. But if you've got the skills, if you've got the coordination, the power that this kind of mobility can bring, a highly skilled team is absolutely devastating.
Yeah, we've seen in the past with different heroes already, Falstad being able to have a strong mobility has definitely helped in the past. So I'm really excited, all right? I like to see more of that support, because a lot of people say like, well, I want to do the damage, but being able to work as a team, so key, and I'm looking forward to the medic a lot.
Definitely. Now, a lot of people in the community have been talking about the matchmaking a lot lately.
Yes, this is definitely our highest priority at this point going forward on Heroes. We've heard that feedback from our players. Keo and I play together almost every night at this point. Our tech director plays. Everybody's playing the game. Most of Blizzard at this point is playing Heroes of the Storm. So we see exactly the same thing you guys are seeing. So when you guys say to us, hey, matchmaking, we can go, yeah, I saw something similar last night while I was playing as well. And that allows us to certainly sync up with the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great to see that the feedback reaches you guys and you also review that kind of stuff. Now, the change to rank will be very exciting for everyone, but how much will that actually influence the matchmaking? Well,
I'll tell you what's going to go on with ranked. Going forward, we're going to make some big changes in our next patch. We've had a bunch of work that we've been doing. We've been getting a lot of reaction from a lot of players. The original system was designed so that after about 20 or 25 games, we had a decent idea of where you were in the matchmaker, and then we would require you 100 games or thereabouts to get to your level. This was not ultimately what was good. This is not what our community was after. This did not work out for us at all. And it was something that we just weren't happy with, having tested it for a couple of months. We finally got some time to go back and re-engineer this system. So what we've done now is we're going to still require 20 or 25 games to put you into placement matches. And you're going to play 20 to 25 placement matches. I don't think we've worked out the exact number yet. Once we've placed you, then we're going to put you pretty much where you belong. We might be a little bit off, but probably not too badly. And if we are, we'll adjust it, no big deal. But we'll get you to where you're placed. So when you see somebody in placement matches, you'll know we're still figuring out where that guy is. And when you see somebody with an actual rank, you'll know that's pretty close to where he belongs. Right now, players might be seeing somebody that, why am I playing with this level 30 guy? I'm level 21. This is garbage. Well, actually, that guy's trending towards 21. It's just he hasn't gotten those placement matches yet. So that'll certainly help a lot of the clarity. Then when we receive feedback from players like, hey, I got matched with somebody of the wrong rank, we'll go, really? That's really much more useful information. Right now, there's so much noise in the system. We don't really know how seriously to take that feedback because that person could be headed to you, but we don't know for sure. We're also going to be getting rid of the concept of a separate team league in the game. This was something we were really excited about, but hasn't really taken on with gamers. We've played in it ourselves, and it's just too hard to get players together on the same team every night to play your matches. So, we have a team that we play with. We've definitely played some games. We haven't been able to keep up with. There's always some members missing from the team, and we always end up defaulting back to Hero League, like many of our players as well. So what we're going to do is have a ranked play mode. You'll be able to play in a queue that's 1 to 4 players, and you'll have a separate queue that's 5 players only. But it can be any 5 players in that queue, and so you can kind of free to sort of mix and match with different players given who's online on a given evening. And that will further separate the 5-man teams from the 1 to 4-man teams. And we were always generally matching the 5-man teams, unless you were in a small country late at night on a Sunday. You were probably getting 5-man versus 5-man, but just in case, they are now completely firewalled off in their own pool, and you'll never see them in the 1 to 4-man area.
That's fantastic.
Wow, we got blasted with information there.
That was a lot. I didn't even expect him to reveal that much about it, but no, that's really great to hear, and it really sounds like the ranked system now comes a bit closer to like the hidden MMR.
It'll be much more realistic. So basically, while we're determining your hidden MMR, we're also determining your rank, and we should be able to get you. Then after that, if you want to go up, you're going to have to really improve your skills to get there. And so that will hopefully be a lot more transparent to players. This is something a little bit more similar to what we had in StarCraft, and so we're sort of going back a little bit more in that direction. So far, it feels really good to us. We've had good feedback from the people we've talked about it with, but it's a work in progress. If we get different feedback, we're not shy, we're not ashamed. We'll change it again if we absolutely need to.
That's great.
When it comes to the core matchmaking, obviously we want to keep doing improvements there as well. We've got engineers dedicated to nothing but that going forward. We've recently introduced a few changes that have made it a little bit better. One of the concerns we had from players was, hey, I've been playing for 500 games. I know I'm not that good, but I just got matched with somebody who's played 50 games.
Yeah.
Maybe he's coming from another game in the genre. He's actually almost as good as I am, but he doesn't know the game nearly as well as I do, and I get very frustrated playing with him because I know how the map objectives work, I know how the talent system works, I know how to fight maybe as a team better than he does.
Right.
This guy's driving me a little crazy. Can you get him by himself with other players that are new to the game? And so we made that change recently, and it's up wait times by about 20 or 30 seconds, but the feedback so far from our players has been pretty positive. So we're going to keep that change and continue to look for more changes that help matchmaking going forward.
Sorry about that. I'm that guy that people complain about.
That's okay. That's
not
okay.
having the experience. They're like, oh, wow, I have Frodan again on my team. My takeaway from all that is I probably shouldn't finish my placement matches because I'm not ready to face the truth about my real skill, because I like to complain a lot. I guess in this case, I'll just play the 20 matches and just kind of hold off on the last 5 there. Thank you so much for sharing. I guess my follow-up question is, with all these changes, when can we expect something like a new season to be arising?
Well, that's a question we get quite a bit. We've gone a little bit longer, I think, than anyone would like in the preseason. You can see we're making a bunch of changes. So we're going to be in preseason a little bit longer while we evaluate the quality of those changes and see if this feels like a more legitimate test of our player skill than the system we had in play previously. We'd also really like to get a Grandmaster League in play before we go to the new season. And that's something that we're going to be actively working on and discussing with our community in the weeks and months to come. So it's going to be a little bit longer in preseason. We'd ask our players to remain a little bit patient with us while we round out these last little bits on our ranked play and really try to bring it home.
Now, of course, Frodan and me are not the only people who have questions for you guys. No, we actually went through the halls here at the Blizzard booth and asked some visitors if they have anything they want to ask the Heroes of the Storm team. So let's take a look at the first question.
My name is Roman Jenisch. My question is when the new heroes will be released. Will they come at once or will they be splitted for 2 weeks or something like that?
I want to know too. Tell me now.
So throughout Tech Alpha and Beta, we tried all different timings on our heroes. We went as long as 6 to 7 weeks between hero releases, and that was way too long. That was too long for us. That was too long for our players.
Agreed.
We're now settling down where 3 to 4 weeks is where we want to be consistently. So players can expect to see these heroes coming out at that kind of a cadence moving forward. There may be opportunities sometimes where we do it a little faster than that. If something goes wrong along the way with testing, some may go a little longer, but we're always going to work really hard to keep it about in that time frame. I can say for this new content we announced here, Infernal Shrines and Karazim, our monk, they're actually coming to the game very soon. We actually are going to have them in PTR if all goes well starting on Monday. So players will be able to come start seeing them out very shortly here. We're really excited to get that feedback, and of course, depending on how that goes, they should get into the game very shortly after that.
Yeah, very soon indeed.
Yeah.
Well, that's a great response. I mean, we have a couple more questions too, so let's go take a look at the second question to see what they have for the Blizzard devs here.
My name is Manuel Holtschuster. How many maps did you plan for the game?
Well, I mean, that's a pretty tough question to answer there.
Well, when it comes to Battlegrounds, we don't know really what our limits at this point are. We're up to 9 Battlegrounds with Infernal Shrines, and we're obviously working on more Battlegrounds going forward. We have heard some feedback from a lot of players now that our game has become too complicated and too difficult for them to really master, that there's simply too many Battlegrounds in play at one moment. And many games are used to only one map or a couple of maps, and so now that we've got 9 in play, it's a concern. We're certainly open to feedback on that, and there may be a point in the future here, and I don't know when this would happen, where we might go to a smaller set and rotate them over time. So we might have a season or a month or a couple weeks, and we're talking to players. We'll be talking to more players here tomorrow and on Sunday as well to sort of float some ideas to them and see what they think. How many maps should be in play at one moment? How often should they change out, and kind of get some feedback for that.
It's awesome. You guys are so open to the community's discussion
that's really
about
nice.
that, and that's really cool.
It definitely is. Now, we have one more question for you.
My name is Fabian Prinz, and my question is, sometimes you buy bundles with heroes you already own. Will you fix it?
All right.
So will you fix it?
Yeah, so we're talking about bundles. So yeah, currently in the game, the way it's always been is that if you buy a bundle and you've already bought like a hero individually, you end up basically double purchasing that hero. And that's something that we never wanted it that way, but we didn't have the game in a place yet that we could support it. I'm happy to say we have that coming very soon here. We're calling that dynamic bundles. And so if you've already purchased something and then you go and you want to buy a bundle, that bundle price is going to be discounted based on whatever content you already own.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
That'll be coming very soon here. And we're thrilled to finally get it in, and thank you for bearing with us. And I can say too that players who have already purchased things and have double purchased some items, we are looking out for you. We are going to take that into account, and we do have plans on how to help you out with that. So we'll have more information on it very soon here, but you can expect dynamic bundles shortly.
That was my follow-up question, so thank you so much for going ahead and preemptively taking this. It's good. It's good.
Well, thanks a lot for the answers, and yeah, I mean, it's great for the people, right? You can just go to an event, casually ask questions to developers of the games. Why not?
I don't know if they were expecting it, but that's what they got.
Why not?
And I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was very informative, though. You guys dropped a lot of knowledge. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope we have you again next year. And yeah, keep on doing the awesome job you're doing. I can't wait to see what's coming up next for Heroes of the Storm.
Thanks, guys.
All right, so with that, we are...
Yep.
All right, guys, so now that Hero Storm is out of the way, but we'll be seeing it back in the future for more content and more announcements, but we also have a second game feature here on the stream.
Yeah? Oh, I thought you were going to announce it because it's your thing.
I was trying to build up the hype. I was trying to build up the hype.
It didn't really feel like building the hype.
All right.
Let me do that for you.
Let's
now,
go ahead
the next
and
game
try
is
that
something
again.
he's very excited about. That's, of course, Hearthstone.